Welcome, everyone, to the unofficial Boutique Hotel Secrets podcast. I'm your host, Adam Walls. This is going to be a fantastic show, and we're so thrilled that you are here to join us. Again, this show is all about how do you acquire, reposition, stabilize, operate boutique hotels. And we got here because we are short-term rental operators making the leap into the commercial space. So thankfully, it's not just me on the mic here today. I'm joined by Micah. Micah, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Very excited to be here. As everyone probably knows by now, if you don't, I am Adam's business partner, and we are currently in the process of taking down a very large hotel. And I'm just excited to share with everybody our wins, our losses, and everything in between. We would love to document our journey during this hotel acquisition process and hopefully inspire some people to step out of that STR space and into the boutique hotels. So
Yeah.
excited to be here and would love to get started.
That's awesome, man. And just for posterity, it's August 18th that we're recording this, and there's something special that's happening right now on our hotel deal. Do you mind telling the viewers what's going on in our world?
Absolutely. We are in a very peculiar space where we have a PSA or a pretty much contract to go into the deal, but it's been in limbo with the seller and the broker's lawyer, and we're getting very fine details sorted out right now. So exciting, but also a little bit monotonous because we've been in this limbo space for about 3 weeks now, where the terms of the deal have been decided since we've drafted the LOI, purchase price, amount of time for due diligence, all of those things have been the same. But there's some very small details like force majeure and material change that really just aren't in our favor. So we're currently trying to get these things changed so we can actually sign and go under contract. So fingers crossed, these changes are so small, we may even go under contract today. So if everything goes right, we'll be under contract and we'll be well on our way.
I love that. And for the any rookie listeners out there, force majeure, LOI,
Crazy stuff.
PSA, Micah, what are these things? Like
Oh my
I didn't know
gosh.
any of these things before
Exactly.
hopping the
Exactly.
fence, but that's what this podcast is all about. So again, yes, we
Yeah.
will find multi-millionaires that already own islands and multiple hotels, and we'll have these folks on our podcast to hear their stories, their lessons learned as well. But man, you could not be picking a greener crew than us. We've never bought a hotel, and we're doing it. We're about to get our first hotel. And again, signed a letter of intent. That's LOI. We've talked with a million brokers, a million bankers. We're literally about to sign a purchase sale agreement, which is a legally binding document that says, yes, we're moving forward into due diligence. And as long as everything checks out, we're going to get the keys on the hotel this fall, man. So
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know,
right.
but let's start with like what attracted you to boutique hotels? I mean, there might be somebody out there that kind of already knows a little bit about the pitch, but I'm guessing just like me, you found Mike Sjogren, maybe Blake Daly, other folks out there on social media that have successfully made this jump. Like, why is this asset class interesting to you, and why did you join Boutique Hotel Secrets?
That is a very, very great and loaded question, but I would love to answer it. So I think it all started with me. I'm an occupational therapist by trade, and I got into the short-term rental space around 2020, 2021. I actually started with house hacking, where I lived in one of the rooms and I rented out the entire house to other guests. A little over a year, I was able to buy my second property and pretty much do the same. So I managed two short-term rentals in San Antonio, Texas, and I always was interested in boutique hotels and just the ability to scale. I actually if you would have asked me in January of this year, my goal was to have a boutique hotel in 5 years. I talked to Emmanuel Pani, who's one of the kind of coaches, sales guys for boutique hotels, and he's like, why can't you have one this year? And it was like such a gut wrenching question because I was like, ugh, man, why can't I have one this year? What's stopping me from getting a boutique hotel this actual year? And that's really what inspired me to make the jump from short term rentals to acquiring a boutique hotel. And I knew this was something I couldn't do by myself. So the next logical step for me was to join a mastermind, join a group of people who were sharing the same interest or already doing what I was looking to do. And then, we keep getting told all the time that the systems that we have and the processes that we use in short-term rentals can be leveraged for boutique hotels. Some things translate pretty much seamlessly. There's a lot to learn, but a lot of things that we already do that can be translated quite well. So just getting in a group, getting involved with a group of people who are doing the same thing, and I couldn't be happier that I joined the mastermind.
That's awesome, man. Well, thanks for sharing a little bit about your backstory. For me, born and raised in the Black Hills of South Dakota. There's more cows than people there, so it's okay if you have not talked to somebody from South Dakota. I might be your first. It's okay. Moved to Minnesota for school. Got into leadership development, learning development. Got a master's degree there. Spent 15 years in professional services. Took me over to Hong Kong, operated across Asia with Fortune 500, Global 1000 companies. Awesome career. Landed in the Bay Area, which is kind of where I'm at now. Worked for a great tech company. Loved my time there. But like so many people in the last couple of years, got the form letter, had the one-on-one with my boss in HR, and found out my position's been eliminated. So thankfully, my wife and I were interested in real estate years ago and started with one house and then two and then three and scaled it up. We own and operate four Airbnb properties ourselves, a mix of short-term and mid-term. And then I kind of got interested in arbitrage. So we picked up a couple of units there in Scottsdale and then started to really explore this co-hosting model. And what does it look like to really just be maybe the property manager and not have to, sign a lease and be on the hook whether you're making money or not, or furnish a place. So, anyways, that was kind of our entry point. But wow, was I glad, after finding out that I go from making a lot of money in a high cost area to no money, thankful that we had rentals. But when I kind of stepped back and was talking with my wife about what was next, it was very clear that I wanted to give real estate a shot. I was always really passionate about this space. But the more I looked at the numbers, it was more like, if I just play this incrementally, you can be very successful with real estate, but it is a get rich
Absolutely.
slow scheme. And so the idea of what does a more exponential path look like, a more leveraged path. And that's when I found Mike Sjogren, Emmanuel Pani, Joe Weigel. I mean, some of these legends now that we get to like shake hands with and they know our names. That's why I pushed my chips in and said, give me a year. Let's see if we can do it. If not, I can always go back. I love doing leadership development, executive coaching type work. But let's see if we can make our money through real estate and make our meaning through coaching and education. And so, anyways, that's what set us together. And do you mind we've referenced boutique hotel secrets. I think some people would know what that is, but other people are like, what the heck are you talking about?
Absolutely.
So again, what is this mastermind thing that you speak of, Micah? And maybe you can even talk about how we connected because I didn't even know you a year ago. Now I'm talking to you almost as much as my wife.
Exactly. I think the thing that stuck out to me when you were talking was like the power of community and getting in the room with other people who want to do the same or are already doing the same thing that you want to do. So this mastermind, right? A group of people who are interested or already investing in boutique hotels. This specific mastermind has a didactic portion where they teach you everything from operations, acquisition, marketing, underwriting. So we really get a really strong base of knowledge and education before even taking the steps to acquire a boutique hotel. There's calls throughout the week that we get on. There's at the time, I think there's four calls. There's an acquisition call, there's an operations call, construction and renovation call, and even a mindset call, which I think is very helpful at times because you start seeing all these zeros behind these numbers and you're like, I don't know where I'm going to get this money from. What happens if something goes wrong? And a lot of these are self-limiting beliefs that you need to work on. So very thankful for the mindset call by doing that. But just a little backstory about how I know the infamous Adam Walls. So we were on a lot of calls together, a lot of the general calls. We would always talk about our deals in the call. And then we decided to become accountability partners. So we scheduled our own call and we would talk to each other on a weekly basis about deals that we had going on, kind of work through some of the nuances, make sure this was a good deal or if we should pursue it further, so on and so forth. And around the same time, we both had a deal that pretty much fell through the cracks for various reasons. And after calling broker after broker after broker on my side, I came across a deal that ended up being an off-market deal, and that's the deal that we're currently working on right now. This is a 50 key hotel, and I don't know about you guys, but your first hotel being a 50 key hotel is a little bit too big to tackle by yourself. We've been throwing around this mantra that we've shot an elephant, and now it's a process of eating the entire elephant, and it's a very big project. So I definitely asked Adam. I said, this is not something that I can do by myself, but it's such a good deal. I think it would be great to have you alongside me as we get this done. So it's kind of how I know Adam. He was more than willing to take on the challenge with me, and we've, like you said, been talking probably more than we talk to our own wives. So very interesting, but also productive, and a great experience to have Adam alongside me.
Yeah, exactly, man. No, it's been awesome getting to know you. And I think what stood out right away is, what, by the way, we're part of like cohort one, let's call it, so they
Yeah,
launched
yeah,
Boutique Hotel Secrets. Mike Shogun himself was in on a lot of the early calls, setting up different coaches and different calls to support a community of people that want to take action and make this happen. But even within that community, there's some people that kind of hang back with their cameras off, and some people that are taking action every single
yeah,
week. So that struck
absolutely.
me right away, that I could tell that Micah wanted to get a deal done. And while he was looking in Texas and Arizona, I was looking out here in Northern California. And man, things were too small and too expensive. And I think one of the early pieces of advice that I got from multiple coaches was, don't buy yourself a job. The entire reason you're in this, in the commercial asset class, is because it's a team sport. And actually, it feels a little counterintuitive, but the bigger the deal is, almost the easier it gets. And so I thought I had a deal. I was working with a capital partner and just sold an apartment complex and got all the way down on the negotiating table within 50K, but then it fell apart after like 2 months of chasing. And so anyways, I was sure that I was going to have a hotel and Micah would have a hotel somewhere down south, and we continue supporting each other. And lo and behold, the universe kind of works in mysterious ways.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
we were brought together, on this deal. Our coach Joel had just kind of suggested, why don't you guys seem like you've got a lot of energy and good chemistry and you're good people, and let's see if something's here, man. So
Yeah,
it's been awesome we got to go to STR WealthCon in Nashville together. What was it last week up in Banff, at a
yeah,
mastermind retreat? So
absolutely.
yeah, we're putting in some time together, but again, I couldn't be more excited about the future. I love the deal. I love working with you on this, and again, happy to share our story, the good, the bad, and the ugly with people as you follow along. I think most people look at the Instagram reels and think everything's rainbows and unicorns, but
Oh, yeah, yeah.
it's already been pretty dicey. So.
Absolutely. That's such a good point that you make. This, boutique hotels, it's the new catchphrase. The moment you say boutique hotels, you got everybody's attention. Everybody wants to know more. Everybody wants to get involved, but they don't know how. And while it is a very exciting asset class, there's also a lot of challenges that come along the way and a lot of learning that you need to do. This isn't something that you just say, I want to go do. You look on YouTube, you look at a few videos and you say, I'm off to the races. This is definitely not the thing that you want to get into. You can fail pretty quickly. And unlike short term rentals, you fail with a short term rental, you may be in a little bit of debt. You fail with a hotel, you're likely to go bankrupt. It's a very big difference. And I think that's important to know. And you really want to make sure you're doing your education and due diligence on the front end to make sure you don't either give yourself or buy yourself a job, or you get into something that does not make sense in the long run. But there's one other thing I want to mention while I'm talking about this, and it's specifically with the deal you had before our deal, Adam. And you had a partner that was willing to provide quite a bit of capital. And without us knowing, again, we're as green as they get, a little wet behind the ears. We really didn't know what the risk was, but I would love for you to expand on kind of the caveat of taking just anybody's money and taking a certain amount of people's money. I would love to kind of share that story.
Yeah, it's funny because one of the things that Isaac Oswald said on stage in Nashville, they did a whole boutique hotel section, kind of a 4-hour masterclass, and By the way, I think if people are getting this and there are maybe some codes or ways to get access to those recordings, so hit us up if that might be interesting to you. But he was basically saying, like, look, I don't want to, I want to know kind of your total financial picture, how much you're worth. And if you're cutting me a check, it better be less than 20% of your net worth. Ideally, the
Yep.
smaller, the better. And
Yep.
what I didn't kind of know at the time was I was about to take $1.8 million of someone's money from a hotel, not a hotel, but a multifamily sale, and it represented almost 100% of their net worth.
That's
Um,
insane.
and again, I just didn't know that because I just assumed, and I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah.
what the difference here of, again, I was a huge Bigger Pockets fan. I watch a lot of YouTube, and I have learned a ton from other people about real estate. But I think until you get off the fence and move from passive to active and try and do this yourself, there's only so much you can learn, right? From sitting on
Absolutely.
the couch or, turning on the laptop or your earbuds while you work out. So this community has made all the difference. And again, it's increased my confidence, and I already know that I don't need to have all the answers, and that
Yeah.
every day I'm learning something new and I'm becoming a better operator. And actually, that's the thing that I think excites me most is, man, can you project out 5 years from now, like how much better that version of me is going to
Yeah.
be? And I hear Mike Sjogren and Emmanuel and others talk about this, but the goal is not just about accomplishing the goal. The goal is about who you become in the pursuit of this goal. And
Yeah.
so again, I'm fired up about the journey. I am sure we're going to step in some mud along the way, but hope you're here for it.
Absolutely.
So anyways, look, we could talk for like 9 hours. We just wanted to kick this off, kind of get an episode 0 or an episode 1 kind of out the door. Many more episodes coming up, some with just Mike and myself, others with our coaches, others with operators or other
Yep.
students. So
Special guest.
we really want to kind of plug into this entire world and help you learn about this space, especially if you already have some short-term rental experience and you're thinking about making that jump to boutique hotels. The time is hot. The moment is now. There's a community here to support you, and again, hopefully we can be part of your story as well. So, Mike, I'll flip it over to you. Any
Yeah.
any I don't know, final words, departing words, things that you're looking forward to that you want to tell viewers about?
Man, I'm very excited to embark on yet another exciting journey, but I think this podcast will not only be helpful to newcomers who are interested in the boutique hotel space, but also current investors of boutique hotels, because you may have one, maybe even two boutique hotels, but everybody experiences something different. If we talk about financing, if we talk about operations, even geographic locations, there's so many nuances and differences that even people who currently own and operate boutique hotels may find this podcast very interesting or learn a thing or two. So, again, would love to share our journey as we go through our wins and our losses, but I would also just kind of look forward to some special guests, some people that we're working with in the mastermind. I think it'll really be great.
Absolutely. And again, as far as what you can expect from us, what we've committed to is every other week we want to record a podcast. Now, again, if the people want more, we are here for it. We are willing to do that. But again, out the gates, we're trying to take down a hotel, and we have families and jobs and things
Exactly.
going on.
Exactly.
So our goal is just to hopefully be a repository where maybe somebody finds us year 2, year 3, year 4 in the future, and they go back to go, man, those guys have an interesting story. I want to find out where they started. Well, August 18th, 2025, about to sign our first purchase sale agreement on our very first boutique hotel. I'm excited for the ride, man. So hope you are too. And look, if you've got questions, you've got show ideas, you want to give us some input, reach out, DM us, let us know what you'd like to see on the show. Our goal genuinely is to be educational, hopefully be a little bit funny as well. But make sure that, again, this is kind of a one-stop shop for great stories, great lessons, everything that you need to know about how to acquire, operate, renovate, reposition your first successful boutique hotel. So,
Absolutely.
from that, thank you for hopping into episode 1, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.